What we learned earlier is the difference of two squares. Now, I asked you earlier, what's Kenny squared minus, who else do we have? Evan squared. I'm going to tell you what Kenny squared minus Evan squared is. Kenny plus Evan and Kenny minus Evan. Why did I make something so stupid up? What's my point? Could be anything. Once it's in a bracket and it's squared, just do that. Anything squared, take away anything else squared, we'll do this every time. Do you got it? In this case, Kenny is 2x plus y, and Evan will be 2, because we're changing 4 into 2 squared. So we no longer don't have Kenny and Evan anymore. We have 2x plus y and, what's the other part? Huh? 2. So that's all you got to do here. Okay? So 2x plus y goes in the first bracket, 2 goes in the second bracket. Then you have 2x plus y plus 2. And you have 2x plus y minus 2. And you're done. Are we cool with that? Anybody get that one out? Okay, Grant. What about 32? What do you think you can do there? So, back in the day, you would have had a trick like this. Can anybody tell me what's the answer to a to the power of 2 to the power of 6? A to the power of 12. What about 5 to the power of 3 to the power of 4? 5 to the power of 12. What's 5 to the power of 3 multiplied by 5 to the power of 4? 5 to the power of 7. Now, the trick I'm going to propose to you guys is this. So you can see I'm reusing my original, reusing everything again. And here's what I suggest you do instead. Turn it into a squared 2b squared. What's a squared 2b squared? What is it? A to the power of 4. What's b squared 2b squared? Huh? B to the power of 4. So a squared minus b squared equals a squared plus b squared and a squared minus b squared. Everybody cool with that? If you look at the back of the book, that's not the answer you're given. You're not done. What do you have to finish off? Which part? You got to finish off this part here. Why? What is a squared minus b squared? Huh? Exactly. The yellow part expanded further. Is that okay, you guys? So I've done 30 and 32 so far. Now I'm moving on to 47, 48, and 50. Okay, 47. Can anybody give me a reference number for 4 times 36? Multiply 4 by 36, gents. 144. Yeah. Make a list. Is one's positive, one's negative? How do I know that? No. The last number is a minus. Because the last number is a minus, one of them has to be a plus, the other one has to be a minus. All right, let's start. Is 2 times 72 any good? What's 72 take away 2? Huh? Yeah, that's no good. Is 12 times 12 any good? Why not? The answer is somewhere in B. One of them's too big, the other one's too small. Let's try 8, somewhere in the mid-range. What's 8 into 144? Is it? Is 8 and 18 any good? Try 6. Is 8 and 18 too big or too small? Oh, there it is. Too small. All right, let's try again. What else will go into 144? And if any of this? Will 6 divide into 144? What? 6 and 24. 9? Oh, excellent. We need something bigger than 8, so we're going to go for 9. And what do we get when we do 9? 9 and 16. 9 and 16 is perfect, isn't it? So what do I put in here? 30x squared minus 16x plus 9x take away 4. What's next step? What can I take out of 2 of this? Into 9x minus 4. What's the cheat we learned in second year? The first and the second bracket are going to be there. So what's in here? Plus 1, and then finally 4x plus 1 and 9x minus 4. That needs to be your bread and butter. You need to be able to do them very easily, okay? Move on to 48. Okay. Now, question 48. Once again, the reference number is what, James? Which is 8 times 15. Yeah, 120 will do me. Plus or minus 120. Why? Yeah, multiply minus 8 by plus 15, you get minus 120. What now? Oh, well, when you got on the first go. Which one? And so I'm going to do it this way. Take out what? Yeah, what you got? Yeah, and then the other bracket has to be there. Then in here. Then your answer. And, all right. Easy peasy, all right? I'll tell you what, I'm going to modify question 48 to make it harder, okay? And guess what happens? Look at this. What happens if I turned question 48 into this? We had 15x squared, didn't we? And we had minus 14x, and we had minus 8 here, yeah? What happens if I do this? That's all I do differently. How do you think that affects the answer? How does that affect the answer? Run through the whole thing again. Yeah? Doesn't really affect it at all. Except the middle is now x, y's, isn't it? Instead of x. Here'd be my suggestion. Just ignore the y's even exist. Pretend they don't even exist. And then at the very end, lob the 2 y's back in, and you're done. Do you get what I'm saying? Will you guys try and take on question 50 now on your own? Ignore that the y's exist, and then just lob them in at the end, and you're good to go. Okay, I'll pause it on 50. Is, if you have question 50, just pretend the y squared and the y don't exist, so you're essentially doing this question here. The reference number is minus 60, which is a plus 20 and a minus 3. You get 12x squared plus 20x minus 3x, what's it, minus 5. Take out 4x and you get 3x plus 5. Take out minus 1 and you get 3x plus 5. And then put them into brackets. Now, if you want, you can just do this now if you really want. You just put y here and here, don't you? And you're done. If you really want, you can just go all the way back and you can go, oh, look, Mr. Examiner, I did this. La, 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 la. And you're done. It's far handier just to learn one method and just fix it after you're done, isn't it? So yeah, that's the way I do it, okay? Now, let's see what else we have. So these are the ones we've done already. We've done them. Alrighty. Everybody remember the quadratic formula back in the day? Otherwise known as the minus b formula? And what did I tell you guys to do back in the day? Now, here's the problem. You're not asked to solve it, you're asked to factorize it. Do you remember this? So there's a problem here, so let me explain the problem in depth. If I gave you this question here, and you guys all know how to do this question here, don't you? Factorize that. You can do it in your sleep, can't you? You'll get x minus 1 and x minus 2. Is that all right with you guys? Now, I'm going to show you how to use the quadratic formula and go backwards is what we're going to show you now, okay? So here's what I'm going to show you. Imagine, what's the a value? 1. What's the b value? And what's the c value? 2. Now look at this. What's the minus b value? 3. 3 plus or minus square root of b squared is minus 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times 2 all over 2 times 1, all right? Lob all that into the calculator. What did we say our answer was earlier? It was x minus 1 and x minus 2. When you throw all that into the calculator, here's what your two answers are going to give you. It's going to give you x equals 1 and x equals 2. The minus b formula only works for solve questions. Everybody remember the difference between a solve question and a factorized question? This here is a factorized answer highlighted in yellow. This here is a solve answer highlighted in blue. How do you turn the solve answer into a factorized answer? Thomas. Put them back on the other sides. And what are you left with? X minus 1 equals 0 and x minus 2 equals 0. Then join both left-hand sides to each other, and what you get? X minus 1 and x minus 2. What I want you guys to do now, actually I'll do the first one. I'm going to do part 3 with you now. So, does everybody understand? I'm going to do the minus b formula. I'm going to get an answer. Then I'm going to move that answer to the left-hand side until it leaves a 0 behind. Does that make sense? So here's what we're going to do. All right, let's do this. I'm going to do part 3, 51 part 3, and you guys are going to do part 2 after that, okay? So, what's the a value in 51 part 3? A value is 2. The b value? The minus b value. The c value. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. We are going to put all this back in. Will somebody get your calculator ready? Because I'm going to need it. Okay, so you leave it blank like so. Remember what I told you? Fraction button first, plus square root, and leave it blank for a minute. Okay, next thing we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to put in the numbers. A is 2. Whoa, made a mistake already. A is 2. B is minus 5 root 2. Makes minus B 5 root 2. C is minus 6. Now, put all this into the calculator and get me an answer, please, okay? Am I getting an answer yet? If possible, can you have it in surd mode, or does it do that? 3 root 2, is it? So, x equals 3 root 2. What happens when we change this to a minus? Go back up to the top and change the plus to a minus. What's your second answer? Minus root 2 over 2, that's okay. Now, we need it to be equal to 0 on the left, you got it? So here's what we suggest you do. What's the first one? X minus. Is everybody happy with x minus 3 root 2? Equals 0. What about this one? Division of 2 on the right is multiplication of 2 on the left. So what do I get? 2x equals minus root 2. And what do I do with the minus root 2? Huh? I get 2x plus root 2 equals 0. And what can I do with these two brackets then? Put them beside each other. Everybody cool with that? And that's my answer. What happens when I multiply the two of them out by each other? What should happen? What will they turn into? If I multiply the two of these by each other, what should happen? The two of these will turn into this. And you're done. All right, you guys try 51 part 2 on your own now. Question 51 part 2. A, B, and C values are different this time. A is 1. B is 2 root 5. Minus B is minus 2 root 5. C is minus 6. Plug it in. Minus 2 root 5. 2 root 5. 1 minus 6 all over 2 times 1. I already have something similar here. Actually, I'll do it from scratch. Minus 2. Oh dear. Minus 2 root 5 plus square root 2 root 5 squared. Up to the root 5, sorry, you have to press the right button, and then squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 6 all over 2 times 1. And you get, where? Oh, God. Sorry, C is minus 16. Good man, Aaron. C is minus 15. So, that might make things a bit nicer. Yeah, it's a much nicer answer. So x equals root 5 is your first answer. Go back and change it to a minus. and x equals minus 3 root 5. Okay, what's the next step then? Bring them over and you get, yeah, and, yeah. And what next? Put both brackets beside each other, and now you have successfully factorized your answer. Is that all right? Okay. Back in the day, you guys had the first thing you guys learned was you learned this in first year, is that x squared minus y squared is x plus y and x minus y. Everybody cool with that? When I multiply this back out, it turns into x squared minus y squared. Everybody cool with that? Next thing, is there anything for x squared plus y squared? Is it the same as x plus y by x plus y? The answer is no, because this happens. You get x squared plus xy plus xy plus y squared. You have an extra 2xy in the middle. Does everybody see that? Can't be done. So what can we say x squared plus y squared is the same as? It's just the same as itself. Nothing can be done. Next thing. What about x cubed minus y cubed? Well, there is a formula for this. It's x minus y into x squared, yeah, plus x multiplied by y plus y squared. If you aren't sure about this, how could you check it? How could you check it, lads? Multiply it out and look what you get. X cubed, x squared y. You then get xy squared. Then you get minus x squared y. So you get minus x squared y. Then you get minus xy squared. And finally you get minus y cubed. And what cancels? That will cancel with that one, and that one cancels with that one, and you're left with what you began with. So there's two new formulas on the horizon. The two new formulas on the horizon are this one here, and similarly, this one here. Now, do you want the bad news? You'd learn these off by heart. Do you want the lazy way of learning these off by heart? You learn one of them off by heart, learn the top one off by heart, and just remember to change the middle minus into a plus or vice versa. See the way the minus turns into a plus? And that plus turns into a minus. That's the way I learned it back in the day. I learned one of them and then I just learned change the middle sign on both of them and you're good. Is that all right? So, brings us to the next part. Now that you know the two of these off by heart, okay, what do you reckon about these questions here? What do you think the answer is for? What do you think the answer is for a cubed plus b cubed? All you gotta do is do what, guys? Change the x into a and the y into. So a plus b, a squared, ab plus b squared, and you're done. What about a cubed minus b cubed? What do I have to do here? A, b, a squared, ab, and b squared. Everybody cool with that? Now the next part is the hardest part. What do I do for this one here? What can I change 8x cubed into? 2x to be cubed. Because what's 2x multiplied by 2x multiplied by 2x? Exactly. Anybody know what to do for this one then? Instead of x, what do we have? And instead of y, we have should be the same answer. So what goes here? Plus y. What goes here then? 2x, 2b squared, which is 4 squared, 2x times y, minus 2xy, and then after that, y squared. We all good? Right, I'll do one more of this. Okay, so that's 52 done. Oh dear. Now, where it's going to get a bit messier is, let's say, for argument's sake, let's say this question here, question 55 part 1. Everybody see 55 part 1? 55 part 1 is a cubed minus 8b cubed c cubed. Everybody see that? 55 part 1. Now look at this, here's how you do it. Instead of x, we have what? A. Now the next thing you're going to have to find out is, what do I do with the second bracket here? 2 bc to the power of 3. What's 2bc multiplied by 2bc multiplied by 2bc? 2 by 2 by 2 is a. b by b by b is b cubed. c by c by c is c cubed. We're nearly in business now, so what's our answer going to look like? Instead of x, we have a, and instead of y, we have, so what's that going to be? It's going to be a minus plus a squared, and then what about here? It's a times 2bc, which will be 2ab, and then finally y squared is 2bc, 2b squared. What's 2bc multiplied by another 2bc? Huh? 4b squared and c squared. All right, so what I did today was I did 51 and 52. You guys